Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Cloudy Sheep and we are playing Command, Modern Naval and Air Operations. We're trying to recapture the Canary Islands as Spain against the Islamic North African Coalition. And we're just about to start our first air-to-naval attack over here. We've identified that there are a couple of these Ramadan ships over here, which we will be attacking very shortly, with a flight of 6 Hornets over here, which are armed with the Harpoon missile, which is a very, very nice sea-skimming missile, long-range, radar-guided anti-ship missile. So we'll be launching that very shortly against these guys down here. We do hope that the game tells us, the database over here tells us that these guys do have missile defenses worth of 4 Harpoons each, or at least an equivalent. So that's not very great, but if we look at how they do it, they only have very limited actual anti-air capabilities. Only these 40mm twin guns over here. So only pretty much the main gun can, or rather, so probably this gun back here can actually fire on our missiles. And my guess would be that they actually don't. They're doing 32 round bursts, but I think they will probably just be able to attack one of the missiles, and the rest needs to be protected by the chaffs over here. So basically by decoys and flares and like that. So I do hope that some of our missiles get through and that we don't need a massive volley. Nevertheless, we'll be able to put out 12 missiles on these 4 ships, so 3 each. And we do have one follow-up squad over here, which has 2 more missiles, and this one we are keeping a bit in reserve, just to see if if there are any stranglers, and we maybe get 3 of the boats, but not 1, so we know which one to target. Even though these guys do have an active radar seeker, I believe, on the last 5 nautical miles, so they might actually be able to target a different ship. Right then, as you can see, in the sort of red envelope here, that is our current anti-ship range from the Harpoons. So I think very soon we'll be able to actually attack them. And yeah, I don't think we need to do much more other than maybe tell this guy to activate its radar, so we can tell exactly where these guys are right now. They are sort of in this rectangle here, so we know that because they do periodically give off some emissions, and that is fine. But that we are picking up passively, so we don't know that for sure. We also have a couple of just fighters over here that are doing just covering against enemy aircraft after our Harriers bravely shot down a flight of probably F-16s down here. Multi-role fighters at any rate. They're also being rearmed. It takes about half an hour, so that's fine. We will let them do that. We also split off 2 of our Harriers down here, which just launched from our carrier group over here, the group Alpha, to maybe chase down these Mirages over here. It's a bit of a long shot, but they are flying very low, just 20 meters above the ground. You can also see that there's just like this string of sonar buoys that have been placed in front of our moving Alpha squadron, so trying to identify any hostile submarines. Without further ado, I'm going to resume the game here and see if we can't get closer to these guys with our main flight over here. Stuff is slowly but surely moving. We have also spotted a couple of more threats down here. The ships are still kind of gone. There's some MiGs and this guy, which I heavily suspect to be sort of an air-to-ground search platform, or air-to-surface rather, because we are looking on surface and naval stuff. This Sea-King here is an airborne early warning platform, and it does have a couple of radars, one of them being this one, which is an air and surface search 3D long-range radar, which will be able to provide surface search, range information, altitude, speed, and heading info. So once we turn this on, I believe we should be able to get a very good fix down here. I'm gonna speed it up just a tiny bit, just so we can... wait. Are you turning around? Yes, you are. So pause. That's not what I want. That's really, really, really not what I want. So basically what's happening, these guys have reached bingo fuel, so they think they have to return to base to catch some of fuel, which is this base up here. So basically they travel around 315 nautical miles, and maybe we can actually see that down here in the Hornet overview. If we're looking at the possible armaments here, you can see that they have about a 400 nautical miles strike radius, and apparently we are a bit further away, so that's why they're turning back. That is a bit very, very unfortunate. The good thing, I believe, is that we have this tanker over here, which we will be sending over here, just in the middle of these two fleets, so that it's a bit more sort of in between. We'll also speed it up to military speed, so just slightly, but that will hopefully be enough to get us to have something on the way back. I hope. I really sincerely hope. Meanwhile, we need to tell these guys that they really should please not evac. So that's under the air operations tab here. Fuel state pre-planned. And they're currently at bingo, terminate mission and return to base with planned reserve fuel. 10 mission fuel, so these are all above bingo. That's not what we want. Fuel status return to base. No. Do not return to base when fuel reaches reached. Weapons. We also refuel situation here. Allow but not tankers refueling tankers. So we are not allowing them to return to a refuel point, and that I think should be... Not sure what the difference is here, but we're telling them that no, they are not allowed to do that, and that they please really should get... They're not doing that, are they? Nope, they're not. So let's see what we can do. Rules of engagement, refueling, pick nearest, give priority to tanks, no. I honestly just don't want you to refuel, so withdraw, no. Redeploy, no. Weapons release, yes. Yes. Fuel state bingo. Automatic evasion, that should be not allowed. Don't refuel. Don't refuel. Oh, come on. That would be a bit annoying. I really just want you to... It's not even that far, it's like 15 nautical miles. And there's also a short-handed... You can always sort of do it like that. You are quite far to bingo fuel. 315 nautical miles to tanker. Yeah, but I don't want you to go to the tanker. Okay, it really should be, I guess this. Bing, use refuel. No, don't. Torpedo range, yes. Practical torpedo range. Automatic invasion, yes. We are also at group view, yes. The way here you can acti actually deploy the sonar stuff, but that's not what I want. What I want is for you guys, come on, for you guys to go there, which you aren't doing. This really bugs me out. Okay, this one is still moving okay. You know, that might actually delay us by quite a bit. Can we get you to turn around in any fashion whatsoever? Yes, you may do that. No. Yeah, all of this is yes. Pick nearest. Pick tankers between. Let's use this and see if they do return to base or don't do anything, basically. Can I tell it to specifically attack? Will that turn? No, you're still not turning around. What happens if I tell you to return to base? Return to base. You guys shouldn't have a refuel point now. Guys, there is no refuel point. Where the fuck are you? Sorry. Swearing a bit. Okay, now they are back on plotted course. Nonsense. Sometimes they just do this sort of nonsense. Okay, you now will activate your radar, which should actually put a huge anti-surface radar sort of capacity up. We can see now a lot of things lighting up down there, and we should very soon get a good information on these guys. You're also flying pretty high, so you should actually be able to get a target fix here, I would hope. No? No target fix? Come on. I know you should be able to see them. Can we fly straight at them? You know, if that doesn't work, you guys need to turn on your radars. We are now certainly visible, and I guess they know that an attack is incoming, but I don't think it will help them much. They are turning on their radar anyway, so I guess that's fine. And I actually want you to drop targets. This one. Very, very soon you will be able to engage them. It's switching a bit between yellow and white, because this is actually able to do both. So surface search and naval and air search. But very soon we are we're starting to cut in there, so we should very soon be able to see them in a bit more detail. Let's speed it up just a tiny notch. Are we getting a bit better information? Yes, we are. And once we see the fourth guy and we have them all in range, I think we'll be launching our missiles. There we go. And pause. Right then. Okay, let's pick up our flight here and start distributing some shots. So we have 4 targets, we have 12 harpoons, i.e. 3 harpoons by aircraft altitude is too high, so you actually need to get a bit lower. That's fine. Please just dive down by 1,000 feet. Manual override. And there we go. And now you should be able to, yes. Okay, so they distributed 4 missiles already. So I guess 1 missile per ship is already by anyone. Okay, no. So 2 missiles targeted there. Enable automatic salvo, yes. Okay, let's check. So, no one is attacking you. No one is attacking you. No one is attacking you. You are being attacked by 2 missiles. 1 from this guy. No, actually 2 from this guy. No, 1 from this guy, 1 from that guy. So who else are you targeting? Weapons allocated by selected. I don't understand. Let's wait a second and see. There we go. They spread out 2 missiles. We are just gonna manually tell you to fire 1, you to fire 1, and you to fire 1 at this guy. That's fine. Here too, we want 1, 1, and 1. Will take a couple of seconds because they need to recycle their aiming systems. There we go. Oh, no, this guy's 4 missiles. Damn it. So this guy can get the remaining 2. And that's a good one. I guess the game is trying to oversaturate them, these targets, but again, because it's mainly... Oh, okay, yeah. I was wondering what the list is, but it's just that they launched all their missiles, so they don't have anything anymore. Or at least all the suitable missiles. Okay, and this is going to be fine, I guess. We'll now tell these guys to loiter, please. And don't return to base, please. Could I have your attention for a second, guys? I would rather like to keep them the radar coverage there, because the Harpoons can actually be retargeted in flight. So while they are flying there, I think it's a good idea just to be aware of that and keep them straight in that regard. You also just please loiter, don't waste fuel. Exactly, so keep them lit up so we receive updated targeted information. Our Harpoons here are making their way. For a missile, you can see they are not that quick. Our anti-air missiles are like 4 or 5 times as quick. And this is nearly aircraft speed, right? We could even push these guys to be faster than the Harpoon missiles up here. So that's kind of funny to me that this would be possible. It also means that actually we might have, it would have maybe been a bit better to launch them at the exact same speed, so they'll all pretty much arrive at the same time. But should be fine like this. I mean, it's a pretty densely packed situation up there. We also have this other aircraft here coming down, so it will attack from a slightly different direction. And this tanker up here, I actually do want you to get back down here. So yeah, he's complaining now that he was actually returning to base, but I don't want that. I actually want you to stay on base there. And that should be fine. And all of these guys will now try to refuel as well, which is fine to me. So Harpoons are coming in. Let's speed up time. Whoop. The airships are being funny. We're losing information about them down there, so that's why. Actually, oh dear, damn it. These guys, I completely forgot about them. Right, so we do have these two Harriers, which I think we would rather like to attack that over there. We also learned a bit about Boogie 277. There are Falcons here. Yes, these ships are still there. This ship, still old information. Where on earth is this Boogie 277? I wish I really could click on it. It's being detected by our Boeing. So, do we know about any new Boogie? Can't see it. There's a Goblin Boogie 277. Oh yeah, these two guys over here. Yeah, they're probably just again the mix. Let's keep an eye on this up there to see that these guys are turning back north, please. You're on military cruise speed. It's so pathetic. They're probably outside of the probable engagement range, which is I don't know why they didn't auto launch actually, because they do have AMRAAMs and the range should have been okay originally. But now, of course, it's a different story. These guys up here should just be helicopters, yes. Can you tell me why you are not launching? You should be launching yourself, right? Aircraft altitude too low. So we are flying too low. That's the problem here. That we can certainly correct. Let's pop up a bit. And now we should be able to launch. Pause. Let's see. Outside of the DLZ. So let's actually go back to low altitude so we are not spotted. Get a bit closer so that we can make it a bit more probable that they are being actually being targeted. The issue here again is that they might fly out of our engagement range. Not at the current speed, but certainly at the top speed. They would be about half as quick as our missiles, so they might nearly run out of the engagement zone there. So you know what, you sir are going to loiter. So please be much less quick, and maybe even take a bit of a detour. You are now returning to base. That's fine, just do it. You are still low. Your minimum height for launch was 200 feet. So I think we could tell you guys to actually be at 200 feet exactly. pop up a bit, that means you are a bit more likely to locate, but I don't need to babysit you quite as badly. These are turning around. Let's have a look at our tanker over here. Are you still? Go a bit quicker. It will burn more fuel, but then again it's a tanker, so that should hopefully work fine. How far away are you actually? 26 nautical miles. Yeah, you guys are moving quicker, so we are catching up, and there we go. First missile to be launched. And two more. And one more. Last one, please. That direction, just so we know that these guys are, and we'll try to go at the minimum possible altitude and at military speed, please, so that we are not counter-engaged by these guys. Here we are, Harpoons are still coming in. And again, you can see just these guys are so much more quicker, 2,400 nautical miles, whereas these guys just go barely 600 knots per hour. That's fine. I mean, their targets are really sort of stationary, whereas of course these targets are not. And we actually know that at least the Falcons had great success at evading these missiles. They're a bit less agile, so we might be a bit more lucky here. And I don't think they've spotted the missiles yet, but they'll probably soon start to activate their active seekers, and then these guys will know what's going on. They're also coming in from behind, so these guys have much less idea of what's going on. Still, they are not even defensively maneuvering. It's very, very great. It's extremely good for us. There they go. One miss, of course, again. One hit, that's good. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Come on, hit it. Damn it. This is so frustrating. Okay, so let's have a look at this, right? The first missile here had a 62% chance of hitting, and of course it missed. The second one, 62% of chance of hitting, and it did, which of course is very nice. Third one, 54% chance, 52% chance, and just one of these hit. I really think the dice are stacked against us here, but well, that's just what it is, I guess. Our Harriers up here, I think, can try to travel in that direction, engage this Mirage maybe while these guys are making their escape. That should be fine. I'm guessing that they will come around, see us very soon, and try to engage us, which hopefully will not work, because we are trying to fly away. These are now just trying to regain altitude and some speed, which they lost due to the maneuvering. I'm not sure where they will be going, but certainly for them the missiles came out of nowhere. And you can see that their radar is sort of front pointing, and they are currently, I don't think they are seeing us. I mean, they must know that there's some sort of launch platform behind them, but right now, yeah, they activated their radar because he is trying to see something now, but so far he didn't. So I think we might sneak away here. It was a kill, so that's nice. Wait a minute, here we go, and these guys, we are losing information about where they are. So we'll be telling this guy to turn down there and get his radar on, so that at least he's illuminating this stuff down there, and you please are going to at least military speed, even though maybe not afterburner. They're deploying jammers now, so they know they are being attacked. I do hope that we don't need to counter that necessarily. Oh yeah, this guy's now being jammed, which is not too great, but I hope that our missiles at least will not suffer from that. You, sir, are you returning to base? No, you're not. You're just loitering around. Right then, let's see how it goes during the last couple of minutes of this episode. I really hope that we are will be getting at least some kills here. Missiles are about 9 miles out, cruising at an altitude of 30 feet. I think at about 5 miles they should be doing a pop-up maneuver, so they should be flying higher, activate their radar systems, and then just try to fly in on the last couple of miles. There we go. Very close now, very close. You can see which missiles are sort of targeting which ship. They are trying to jam. I'm not seeing any shots fired now, but maybe we wouldn't see that because the missiles of course couldn't tell us. This guy is still a bit uncertain of where he actually is. There's some uncertainty about that now, but these guys do have a active radar seeker, so we don't necessarily need to know that. I'm expecting them to pop up any second now. Though these guys, no, I think they are actually going for this guy, so about 5 miles, that's about this distance. I would have thought that... Can we manually dictate that? I don't think we can. Come on. There you go. There you can see some shots being fired at our missile. And we are going to pause for a second because stuff is happening. The gun over here tried to attack our missile and had a 25% chance of hitting it, but of course it didn't. 3 shots, 4 shots, decoys worked, so 1 missile was destroyed there. The jammer is active. You can also... We'll have a look at that later on. See what happened. Actually, maybe get the screen a bit large as well. Okay, that was a bit loud, but I think we destroyed 1 of their ships at least. But there we go. You don't find a target, so you jam. And you are jammed. So you're probably not going to acquire that. Oh, only sort of intermediately. And we see that there's some shots coming in from here. Very nice, although I think these guys will probably not acquire anything. Maybe because everything has been killed, we don't know. Let's have a look at this guy up here. He seems to be running away. Can we get you to do military speed to try to catch up? And by the way, you guys, please just return to base. Okay, so You fly towards that direction. You just have sidewinders. I think you guys can actually sort of loiter, just try to preserve some fuel until we see what's going on. You will probably run out of fuel very soon, don't you? Unit doctrine. Systems. Okay, we'll keep it running while we talk about this for a second, and I'll just pull it really broad so we can have some idea of what's going on. Right, so we shot down this Mirage, and then the gunshots started attacking our Harpoons, but they missed. They missed mostly because stop. Okay, so the gun starts shooting at our missiles, but they all miss. This one was actually the one that was the most likely. No, they all had actually abysmal chance to hit, mostly because they're sea-skimming missiles, so they were also moving kind of fast. They are very small, and have this. So yeah, basically it's nearly impossible to hit these guys with a gun, so that's fine. But however, they do have these active radar seeker seducers, so they're basically sending out some chaff or some artificial radar target, and that actually spoofed the first of our missiles, so it went off target and just hit the sea. And the next, they also again trying to shoot with the guns, which isn't working. Then the next guy here is trying to do again some chaff, which fails this time. They are also trying to jam the system directly, which is a failure. But our Harpoon then misses just by 10 meters, so it just goes off target a bit. The next one is also spoofed. Then we can see a couple of misses again by the gun. More guns shooting and missing. Some jammers again working as designed. Guns shooting, decoys, failure. And then we have a hit. One of our Harpoons actually hits the 566 Bedra, completely penetrates it, and it goes down. Then we have more gunshots, defensive jammers. We have another miss by 10 meters. And I don't think, I'm not sure that this is really that much of a miss, really, as we can see above there. Then we have another direct hit, and we're losing contact to that ship again. So, however, we also lost contact to these two ships, and I'm not sure why that is. Is it just that their radar jammers were that successful in spoofing us, and they elude us for now, or were they actually... Oh, by the way, do let me know whether you prefer this view here, although I'm pre-recording some of these episodes. So I think that actually our near misses might have been enough to blow up these ships. I am going to go down here, maybe just on cruise speed, to see if they turn up again, but for now they might not actually do that. So I think we were very successful. We sank at least 2 boats, probably 4. So that's very good and dandy. We do have a couple of air stuff floating around here. Do we know anything about you? Actually, a bit. This might again be the just surface search thing. There's also of course the second group down here, but we'll have to see about that. Okay, so I think that's been a very successful episode. So thank you guys for watching, and next time we'll try to clean up this bit, maybe try to break in here, make sure that there's really no one left there, and maybe prepare actually for attack on this airport down here, because it's starting to become an open flank to us. Our operations are generally down here, and there are typically some flights streaming around here, So we basically just want to disable this. And we're going to have a look at how that works next time. So, thank you for watching. See you guys next time. Bye bye.